Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me. It's Becca from Readings by the Empress and Loving Source Tarot. How is everybody doing? As I speak, it is the afternoon of the 20th. And I'm just in prayer today. It's also Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I have felt the presence of Martin Luther King Jr., MLK, quite heavily today. And I was listening to Thom Hartmann. I do recommend him, Thom Hartmann. Very, very knowledgeable and educated. He gives an insight on the news that is historical. So I very much recommend his YouTube channel. But Thom Hartmann was scrolling quotes by Martin Luther King Jr. And I did watch the I Have a Dream speech again. Oh my gosh, that man was wise. My guides have always told me that that was our greatest loss of the 20th century was Martin Luther King Jr. Because, and I always wonder why they always tell me this. I think we must have done a timeline jump at that time. Although I can't say I think that's the greatest U.S. loss, right? We have the Holocaust. That was the other timeline jump. Because I've also heard psychics say, and I believe this, it rings true to me, that in the Holocaust, we would be much further ahead technologically, but in the Holocaust, so many great minds were put to death. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So here we are on this day, and there are two different timelines, I think. There are two different timelines. So I wanted to ask Martin Luther King Jr. He warned of militarism. He warned of monopolies. He warned of corrupt finances. He warned of all those things. He warned of continued structural racism. He warned of all these things, saying these things have to be. He warned of the out of control military spending. He warned of all these things, saying that they could be the death of the U.S. So, okay, Martin Luther King Jr., I do ask you to please give us cards. I've channeled, I've done mediumship readings on MLK Jr. quite a lot. So I feel like he's a friend to us all. Okay. In the heart of the matter, right, there's the violence, there's the aggression. Vocally, rhetoric. Okay. What have you to say about that? Oh, the challenge is the tower. This is indeed a tower moment. This is indeed a tower moment in our nation's history. Underneath it all is the Six of Cups, because in our subconscious is the way things have always been, right? That's what's in our subconscious, and we have a tendency to assume that the way things have always been will be the way they will continue. Not so. I think he's saying not so. In the past, right, okay, yeah, he's showing me the family, right? That's the card that in political readings has come to mean the family. Does anybody find that documentary anywhere on Netflix? I felt like it was pulled off pretty quickly. But maybe it's back, I don't know. But there are a couple of other documentaries called The Family, but this, The Family, was about the Federalist Society and the Heritage Foundation and the incubator for future judges and politicians that would espouse conservative, religious, and far-right ideals. In the immediate future, 8 of coins. We have a lot of oh no, that's above it all. That's above it all. 8 of coins. Okay, so this is the worker who is working very hard, yet he has a raggy coat on. He's nose to the grindstone. Sometimes it's the apprentice, but I feel like in this reading, he's telling me that this is coming out of, it's very clear. It's coming out of income inequality, right? Immediate future. 10 of Swords. Okay, what is that? Please clarify. 6 of Swords. Oh, he's showing me the groundswell. So the American public, much of the American public on both sides of this debate, are just, they've about had it. 10 of Swords, like, this is desperation. I've seen that too. Like, this is desperation. We need somebody who will fight for us. And they're hoping that Trump doesn't mean much of what he says, and that really he's going to prioritize fighting for them. So that's what's going on. So it's like everything that's come in the past, he's got to deliver now. He's got to deliver. They're done. They're desperate. They're not making rent. A lot of people are just so overwhelmed with work just to make basic expenses. So he's got to deliver. People are upset. So there's a bit of a powder keg situation here. Root of the matter is, and we know this, we feel it in our gut, don't we? All of you intuitive folks. And then we have the Page of Cups at the root of the matter. Yeah, right now it's a sort of emotion-led kind of messages that we'll be hearing. So we can't go by much of what we're hearing right now. Environmental effects. The effect of the environment on us in the U.S. is the world. I am hearing that the whole world is watching us. And what? And what, Dr. King? We have the Empress. Okay. New beginning for the world. This is a world issue. This isn't just a U.S. issue. It's a world issue. And when the largest economic power is having this kind of problem, of course the world is watching. And of course they're looking for inroads of far right in their own governments. So we are pregnant with quite a possibility. So in other words, I'm kind of hearing this is another timeline shift. That's why Source was talking to me this morning about timeline shifts that have happened in the past. This is obviously another timeline jump. I feel like Dr. King is saying, don't assume it's a bad jump. Don't assume. There's much yet that will play out. This certainly gets everybody's attention. Hopes and fears. We have Page of Swords. In other words, our fears and our hopes, they're just in their infancy. We don't know which way this is going. It's a page. It's not a knight or a king, although Knight of Swords was in the heart of the matter. Outcome. 2 of Wands. Okay, clarify. 8 of Wands and 3 of Coins. Backroom dealings. Okay, so we're going to be learning some interesting things about other countries. I feel like European countries and the deals that have been made. So what I'm hearing is the first thing, one of the first very concerning things we will hear about. It's not even deportation, although those will start, raids will start. Yeah, prisons, other institutions. Yeah, but a lot of that is, like I said, I feel like a lot of that is photo ops, They don't have to deport a huge amount of people without getting a lot of bang for their buck with a base, right? So please, I don't want to say don't be distracted. Of course, we need to be paying attention to that and involved with that and supporting the ACLU if we can. But really what's going to be, is it going to be shocking? Three of Wands, it's going to make us concerned for the future. We have Eight of Wands. In other words, there will be a number of things that happen very quickly that make deals that may have been made with foreign interests, some foreign nations, quite apparent. What will be the result of that, Dr. King? We have Page of Wands. Unfortunately, people are kind of unprepared, and people in our government are kind of unprepared. We know who that is, right? Yes, and the press will be all over it, and yep. Okay, so it's going to be focused front and center on the Russo-Ukrainian war, and I just see a melee again. Seven of Coins, Ace of Wands. He will try to hold up aid to Ukraine, I see. Ace of Wands, opportunity to end it, strength. There's divine strength and protection over Ukraine. Hanged Man. It's not going to end quickly, but there's going to be some very concerning headlines, I think, that suggest deals were made. I had the insight, all this talk about Greenland and the Panama Canal, that is to normalize imperialism, right? To make it seem like it's kind of normal to talk about it. It's maybe not that bad. Who does that do a favor to? Who does that do a favor to? So I don't think we're getting in. No, we're not invading Greenland. We're not invading the Panama. Yeah, be hopeful. No, that's not happening. But I think there was a reason for that rhetoric. So, anything else we should be aware of? Martin Luther King Jr. Oh, again with the Empress. He brings me back to the Empress and the World card. The Empress and the World card. The Empress and the beginning of the end. That's the beginning of the end, because the World is a completion card. So, and it involves the whole world. The beginning of the end. Okay. The beginning of the end of this crazy income inequality, the oligarchies, moves toward taking human rights away. The beginning of the end. Four of Coin. There will be plenty of foreign countries and very wealthy people who want to see things stay the same. And they are starting to compete. They will compete. This usually does weaken the oligarchs. Okay, and we're going to have some good news in here too. All right, that's what I've got. And I thank you, Dr. King. Keep inspiring writers and speech writers and activists. And I know he does. I know he does. All right. Well, I thank you all so much. And again, I keep hearing we need to look for the opportunities. There has been, a festering boil, Maybe it's time to lance it. It's done a lot of damage and weakened a lot of people, a lot of cultures, a lot of groups of people, a lot of individuals. This income inequality issue, this, gradual erosion of citizens' rights. So, and in some places in the world, there are very few citizens' rights. So I keep getting, you guys, that we're not free till we're all free. That's what I keep getting. We're not free until we're all free. And maybe that's why the World card comes with the Empress. We're not free until we're all free. So, and that doesn't mean everybody in our country. That means everybody in the world. Yeah. Any more on that? Oh my gosh, this one just flipped out like it had wings. The Fool and the Three of Swords. Okay, our young people. Our young people, and also new beginning beckons out of the pain, the repeated pain of the old. Okay, so that's what I see. All right. Well, I thank you all so much. I thank you for caring, being involved. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.